Another immune response that our body has is called a stress response. Stress response similarly is activated when the body encounters a stressful situation, which could be mental emotional stress, it could be physical injury. When the body encounters a stressful situation, it releases a triad of hormones and chemicals in the body, including cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine, to regulate the body's function, to increase focus and alertness, and to create an environment where the body's immune system kicks into action. The experience of stress is entirely unique and individual. So again, that's a very complex question. We all know that person in our life who seems to be stressed out all the time. They just can't seem to relax. And then we all know that person who's extremely laid back and kind of takes stress in stride. And the answer to that is really multifaceted. So part of it is genetic and how much of the stress hormones and neurotransmitter your body is going to release. And part of it, a greater part, I believe, is a learned response. And often that dates back to childhood, how your parents handled stress, or how you were taught to handle stress, how you grew up to handle stress. And these stress responses throughout our lives can change. There are tools that we can learn to control our stress and to react appropriately to stressful situations and then return to a resting state. Stress has a huge effect on the immune system, and this is really a two-part question because stress is an immune response as well. So when our body is under stress, whether that's physical stress, which could even be exercising really hard, it could be pulling a muscle or having an injury. Those are all physical stressors that our body can be under. It could be dealing with a chronic illness or an acute illness, such as an invasion by a pathogen or a virus. All of those are stresses on our body. So our body does mount a stress response to that, and it releases those same chemicals I spoke about earlier. So that's one way that stress is actually a part of our immune system. However, when our body is stuck in that fight or flight or a high stress situation for a very long, prolonged period of time, our body simply can't keep up that level of hormone and neurotransmitter production. And what those hormones and neurotransmitters are doing to the body, which was once beneficial, actually becomes detrimental to the body. So when we're under stress for a long period of time without returning to a resting state, our stress response actually inhibits our immune system. It creates an environment where our immune system can't mount an appropriate response because at least in one area of the immune system, the response has already been mounted. And this often leads to further illness or prolonged injury healing times. And you might have seen that if you've ever been under a deadline, or if you're in school and you have finals coming up, or perhaps you have any sort of highly stressful event that you have to attend. Often your body will perform at a very high level right up until it's over. And then when you are finally able to relax, maybe you get sick. And that's because your body's immune system has just been completely depleted. So in heightened times of stress, it's really important for the individual to be able to recognize what is the stressor in my life. Am I being stressed by a relationship? Am I being stressed by a work obligation? Am I having a physical stress? And why is my body functioning at this level? Once that can be recognized, it becomes much easier to allow the body to return to a resting state. This can be done through meditation practices, through exercise programs, especially calming exercise programs such as yoga or Pilates, stretching even, through breath work or just simple breathing exercises. Those are all ways that we can pull our body out of the heightened stress response and back to a resting response. The other things that we can do in general to promote a healthy stress response that then kind of automatically return to a resting state is to make sure that the foundations of health are really being met. And what I mean by the foundations of health are making sure that you're eating healthy food, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, you're getting adequate hydration, you're supplementing your body with anything that it might be missing, and that's a very individual conversation that would be had on a one-to-one level.